Weeks Nation Fantasy Podcast. Just so you know, just so everyone knows, we are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We're here to get you ready for your week one matchups. Before I even continue to spill my excitement here, I just want to introduce my two co-hosts here. One familiar face that you know very well, Mr. Deshaun Reed. How you doing this morning?
Fantastic, bro. Week one football, got a bunch to talk about. I'm just excited to watch these games today, bro.
Facts. And the other guy that we have here, he is new this year to us. He's been, he was here last week and we did like a random show in the summer, but the official introduction here. He's my partner as well on the Early Morning Sports Talk podcast that we do live Saturday mornings, which goes live on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and other platforms as well. Mr. Ian Jones, how are you doing, man?
Man, pretty good. Football is back, man. I'm excited.
Man, we have a lot to get into, man. But yeah, just really quick, guys. Like you mentioned, football is back. What's on the spread today? What are we eating here? Because I still probably got to go to the store later and go get me some.
Yeah, I don't know. It's normally like around our crib on Sundays. It's normally like bar food, gang food, like burger sliders, or I think my wife said that she's gonna make some honey barbecue boneless wings and like probably like some loaded fries or something like that. So like we don't do meatloaf and mashed potatoes up on game day. We don't do lasagna or anything like that on game day. It got to be pre-game food, man. You know what I mean? Wings, burgers, brats, something like that. Man food.
I figure there. Ian, what you got over there?
I think I'm in the same boat with you, Jamar. I don't even know yet, but I definitely figure it out, man. I definitely figure it out. Gotta have something good to snack on, eat during these games, man, for sure.
Man, I meant because I was at the store yesterday and I'm just getting all the what's on the regular grocery list and I forgot. And then as
Yeah.
soon as I got home, I'm like crap, I forgot. So gotta turn back around. But all right, so week one started Thursday. We had a pretty good game for good and bad reasons. Lions Chiefs, as the public probably know at this point, Lions end up winning 21-20. Um, I feel like the couple things to take away here, and I definitely want to hear you all's thoughts. Is one, uh, Patrick Mahomes can't do it all by himself, even though he did everything he could to win that game. But it kind of doesn't help if your receivers can't catch the ball, even though you put it right on the money and they still drop the ball. What can you do, right? Um, so Travis Kelsey, the first time he missed the game since his rookie year, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Kadarius Tony, if you played that man, I'm sorry you did that. If he's even on your roster, I'm sorry that you even have him. But at this point, I'm surprised he isn't cut by now. But nevertheless, that was a big bummer there. Um, on the Lion side of the ball, the one thing that I definitely want to get into is the snap count between David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs. Now I know Jameer Gibbs' ADP is so much higher than David Montgomery's was during draft season, but as you see, David Montgomery is a thing. They did sign him in the all season from me and Ian's team, the Bears, and they are focusing on making sure that he gets the touches that the I guess to be productive. But the only thing that I would say is, from what I read, is they just wanted to give Jameer Gibbs, I guess, just a taste of the game action to get a feel for him. It's supposed to up his count significantly. We'll see on that. But Deshaun, what is your quick thoughts on this matchup here?
um, I mean, just the whole Kadarius Tony thing. Anytime you lose a player of Travis Kelsey's caliber, I mean, I think the spread quickly changes, right? It's one of those things to where it's like we've all set it up in the past. Them losing, cheating, and still winning the Super Bowl, because they still have Kelsey is one of the main reasons. But when you lose a player like Kelsey, like who's going to step up for this football team? Is it going to be Pacheco? Is it going to be one of the young receivers that they have? Rasheed Rice even caught a touchdown in that game. The backup tight end caught a touchdown in that game, but it was still not enough where's their star power outside of Travis Kelce? So I think the biggest thing for the Kansas City Chiefs is like, no, I'm sure nobody's hitting the panic button. They'll be just a-okay as long as they got Patrick Mahomes under center. But who's going to be the player that's going to be able to show up in big moments when Kelce isn't going to be available? Now, again, you already mentioned the Kadarius Toney thing. Kadarius Toney was the best player for the Detroit Lions on Thursday because he didn't want to catch the ball at all, man. And if I'm Patrick Mahomes, like I would kind of be upset a little bit, but at the same time, we saw the ending press conference when Patrick Mahomes saying that he has the utmost trust in Kadarius Toney, which that's the politically correct thing to say, so that there's no drama inside the locker room. But if I'm the coach, man, I'm probably poking them in the chest and saying, hey, you want to be a big time player, we need to see big time production here. So from the Chiefs side of the football, that's pretty much it is what it is. But the Lions side, Jared Goff played pretty good. And I want to shout out Sam Laporta, man. Like you mentioned it, Jamar. You inserted him inside your lineup. I mentioned him as being like one of those tight end sleepers. Just Iowa football is like just pumping tight ends out, just like whatever you need from a tight end. Just look no further than Iowa. So he was pretty good. You mentioned the Jahmyr Gibbs thing. Y'all guys, his ex-boy, man, David Montgomery. I believe 21 carries, and I'm not sure exactly how Jahmyr Gibbs, how many carries he had in that game, but he wasn't the main cog inside that backfield. It was definitely Montgomery. You already touched on that. So I think all in all, it was an okay start to the football season.
Fair enough. Ian, you got any thoughts with this game?
Just to piggyback off of Deshaun, as far as the Kadarius Toney situation, you will hope, in that regard that he doesn't, lose his confidence. And I think that's the biggest thing. You don't want a guy like that to lose his confidence. I mean, he had a pretty bad game, everybody's seen. So, hopefully, it was just a bad game. Next week is another week. Hopefully we don't see like that doesn't become a trend. And I think as well, they need to flirt with an idea to, go get a number one receiver. Because I mean, is this going to be, the talk of their season? Who's going to step up, as that presence on the outside, besides Travis Kelce? So, if you got Kadarius Toney, let's hope this doesn't become a trend, and hopefully he just starts producing, every week. Like in my opinion, I think they'll be okay. I do think they need a number one receiver, and I think Kadarius Toney will be fine. But hopefully it just doesn't become a trend. And I think the Lions, think they should, give the ball to, Jahmyr Gibbs a little more. Like it seemed like every time he got the ball the other day, he looked like real explosive, like real explosive. So. I think, in time coming, I think he'll get more carries, more, catches out the backfield, screens, and, things of that nature. So I think, he still is, a good pickup.
Yeah.
I guess they just wanted to, ease him in, but I mean, in my opinion, he was looking very explosive. So, I would have kept feeding him the ball. But yeah, David Montgomery, he did have a pretty decent game. He had ultimately the game won a touchdown. So yeah, he had a pretty
Yeah.
decent game. And like you guys stated, Sam Porter, he had a damn good game. He had a damn good game. He had a pretty couple catches, so it's looking like a great pickup.
Absolutely. And really quick before we move on, just to put a cap on this. Yeah, so Gibbs had 9 touches in that game as opposed to Montgomery's 21.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminds me of a few, at this point, few to several years ago when New Orleans had a new tandem in the backfield by the names of Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara, to
Yeah.
where Mark Ingram was the guy there, and then they drafted Kamara, and that conflict duo, that thunder and lightning type deal, right? To
Yeah.
where Gibbs, his NFL comparison was Alvin Kamara coming in, And from the eye test, if you actually looked at the game and saw him when he had the ball in his hands, you see why the comparison is there. Like you mentioned, Ian, the explosion. Like this dude, like is fast, like really fast,
Yeah.
really shifty, really just like a blur. So yeah, if if you got Gibbs and you use a first round pick on him this year, I'm sure that you feeling a little certain type of way, a little hesitant, little like but it's only week one. Be patient. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get your ROI on him pretty soon, especially with that offense. So yeah, Lions end up winning 21-20. We got we don't have any bye weeks, so every team's in play this week. But before we even get into those matchups, we got a couple of injuries here to really highlight here. Cooper Kupp, my gosh. In training camp, if I'm not mistaken, he was dealing with a hamstring injury, if I'm not mistaken. And then he was getting ready to come back and then had a major setback. This past week, he's seen a doctor in Minnesota. Sean McVay ruled him out week one, and then yesterday afternoon officially going to IR. And I know the IR is like at least 4 weeks, but I feel like this here might be longer or a lingering situation. So for starters, I feel bad for anybody that took Cooper Kupp early in the draft this year, like a second round pick, third round pick, basically in the first 3 rounds. If you took Cooper Kupp, I know you probably feeling it. But even if you drafted late, right before the season started and, got him in the 6th, 7th round, it's like you still to the point, I would imagine a lot of people feel like, did I just really waste a pick here type deal? Because, yeah, Cooper Kupp, when he's healthy on the field and has an adequate quarterback throwing in the ball, yes, he is a very dangerous player on your team. Very dangerous. But knowing how the Rams are nowadays, I feel like by the time Cooper Kupp come back, you might see Stetson Bennett at quarterback. And at that point, like, is he really Cooper Kupp in fantasy? So my question to you all is, and I kind of like threw this out there yesterday in our group chat, would you rather have Cooper Kupp or Jonathan Taylor right now, stashed away?
Man, to be completely honest, I'm still taking Cooper Kupp because it's okay. Now I get it. It's the injury thing, and look, soft tissue injuries are nothing to play with. They linger, right? Like even when you think that you're healthy, it takes one extra step or one misstep rather for you to be able to, bring that injury back or even worse than what it already previously was. Like you mentioned, Jamar. So Cooper Kupp, when he is healthy, listen, the dude gets 100 targets a game, bro. He's the model of consistency, and he's not truly dealing with some sort of contract, dispute. So it's whenever he's healthy, he's ready to come in and play ball. Now, up on the Jonathan Taylor side of things, I'm not sure how disgruntled he'll be, when he does or if he returns. So it's just me knowing Cooper Kupp's previous, pedigree, and again, PPR and blah 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 things of that nature would take up under consideration as well. It'll kind of alter my decision there a little bit, but I'm man, I think I'm okay with still Cooper Kupp, man. I think I'm better off still having Cooper Kupp.
All right. Ian, what are you thinking on that one?
This is a tough one, but I think I'm like um Deshaun stated, I'll probably stay with Cooper Cup just based upon you dealing with a disgruntled player. So I mean he's healthy. He's a he got a full capability of doing what he normally does, but does he really want to play? You don't know where his mind is at, so it's kind of like he might not run as hard, or he simply just might not care because he's not getting compensated the way he feels. So, like you stated with Cooper Cup, whenever he's in the lineup, he's getting 10 catches easy. I mean, he's averaging 10 catches a game, easy. You know, he what averaged 130 catches a year in the last couple of years when he's been healthy. So, I mean, at this point, is Cooper Cup. I don't even think it. To be honest, it might not even be close.
All right, I'm gonna play devil's advocate just for a second, because everything you all saying is not wrong, but I'm looking at it from the standpoint that in the best interest of Jonathan Taylor, whose profession is football, and I'm pretty sure is trying to make as much money as he can before he can't, play anymore. He has to come back at a certain point. He has to be back by, if I'm not mistaken, week 11 or 12 at the latest to
Yeah,
play at least 6 games in order for that season to count, so he can get by that year of his contract. And that's just worst case scenario. I think best case scenario is maybe either the Colts and him figure it out to where he's back after week 4, or he's miraculously they end up trading him at that point. But either way, Jonathan Taylor, just like the rest of these running backs in this league, I mean, yeah, they're all disrespected, but at the same time, you still gotta, go out there and still earn the contract that you want to a certain degree in their position. So I feel like he is going to be on the field. And when he's on the field, like you stated, like Ian, he can't be out there like just half effort. That's how you get hurt.
yeah.
So I think he'll have to go, 100% or not at all type deal on that one. So, but yeah, either way, both of these situations not ideal at all. And I'll tell you about another a situation that's not ideal either that we found out late yesterday is Mark Andrews. Um, who I do have in a couple of leagues. I had to double check my leagues. I knew I had him in 1, but I think I had him in 3. I'm like, okay. So yeah, he's not suiting up in a matchup that is is a pretty nice matchup against the Houston Texans at home. But nevertheless, um, this sucks. A couple of options here, in my opinion. If Tyler Higbee is out there this week, that is definitely a great play. Since we just talked about how Cooper Kupp is not around, the next best thing, in my opinion, for Matthew Stafford, who likes to favor people when he throws the ball, Tyler
Hmm.
Higbee. That man has tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Um, so I think Higbee is a great play this week. Um, but we know tight ends are shot in the dark a lot of times. So I would say also another option is the backup tight end, Isaiah Likely, who we saw glimpses of last year, who actually looked really good when he was out there and had the opportunity to play. So those are the two for me. Do you all have anyone else that could be a possible substitution here today?
Nah, not at the moment. Like we mentioned last time, is once you get past a certain level of tight end in fantasy football, they're pretty much all the same. You know what I mean? You're gonna get around that 5 to 8, maybe 9, like what Laporta did this past game, like somewhere around that range. So, nah, Isaiah Likely, super athletic. He's already shown what he can do, and I think that's a fantastic one. The Tyler Higbee thing should be a no-brainer for sure. Whenever Cooper Kupp is out, Tyler Higbee was good last year in the games that Cooper Kupp missed 8 games down the stretch of last season. So in those games, Tyler Higbee was a big focal point, and he performed well. So yeah, Tyler Higbee would be the obvious choice here if he is available out there. So
Fair enough. You got anybody over there?
Um, Actually, I have Tyler Higbee in both of my fantasy leagues. I
fire
have
him
him.
up,
Oh,
fire him up.
Yeah, yeah, I have him in both. Maybe Firemouth from Pittsburgh, but like Deshaun stated, I think once you get to like you said, once you get to a certain part with the tight ends, it's kind of like a big drop off.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would say probably after those first maybe 10 or 8 to 10 tight ends, it's kind of like a fall off. So yeah,
yeah, definitely a cliff. And I guess since you mentioned that you got Tyler Higbee in both of your teams, I guess this is a perfect segue here. So just so you all know, us three, we did manage to get in one league together. And this is the league that me and Deshaun has been in 10 years now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, according to the app. 10 years.
Oh, 10?
Wow.
No, more.
It,
More. The app, see, the crazy thing about it is the app doesn't backtrack past a certain time.
you know, you're right. It's been,
So,
if that's the case, probably
Yeah,
15.
dude. Oh, yeah. Easily 15 years now. Yep.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. So, nevertheless, you know, within the last 10 years, Deshaun has won a couple. There's been some other people that's won a couple.
No.
Oh,
Couple.
did I get that wrong?
Yeah, you definitely got that wrong.
Oh,
Couple. That's two, Jamar. That's two. I've won 6. I won 6.
uh,
I mean, hey. I mean, what
Yeah.
can
I
I mean,
take
who's
it.
counting? Who's
I
counting?
take it. Jamar hasn't won 6. So Deshaun is basically the Michael Jordan of this fantasy league.
I would say Brady, but yeah. I need like a
That's 6
statue, a gold jacket. I need something, bro.
bruh, I feel like the Buffalo Bills of the 90s.
Oh wow,
Because I keep getting to the big
That's tough.
dance.
yeah, can't get it done. Can't get it done.
So I mean, the crazy thing of it is, like, real quick, Jamar has the highest win percentage. He has the highest percentage of playoff appearances inside the league.
Wow.
So that should tell you something. I believe his win percentage is over 70%. Mine is just under that. I'm number 2. He has the highest playoff appearances inside the league. Like, we checked this, man, and it's crazy to think that I have 6 chips. Jamar, how many do you have?
I don't know, man.
I mean,
it's according to that, it's a goose egg. Because I keep finishing second and third. Like, if you go down the list, second, third, third. I think one time fifth, second, third, second. It's just like it happens. It happens. But we was able to get Ian into this league in week 1, going against him. And you know, I could talk about it all day and night, but I'm gonna do you all one better. We're gonna actually, you know, show it real quick, if I may. Bam. Can you all see it?
Yep.
Is it big enough? Do we need to switch?
Oh, there we go.
That better.
Much
Yep.
better.
All
Much
right.
That's
better.
better.
All right. So where'd it go on my end? I don't know where it went on my end.
I like this. Man. We need like some theme music or something, man. Like, I like this.
Man, so all right, nevertheless, I'll just work with what I got here. All right, so yeah, this is a 2-quarterback league. As we might have stated before in previous shows. Okay, here we go. All right. So Ian's team, organic marathon runners, he got Fields and Bryce Young. He relies on Young, but Ian is a secret Panthers fan. I ain't telling nobody that though. He also got CMC and Dalvin Cook, Debo Samuel, Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, DJ Moore in the flex, the Cowboys defense, and Cairo Santos for the Bears. That's a stellar lineup. That is overall. See, I kind of got like the little sweat emoji a little bit here because I got Herbert. I'm guess I'm letting Russ cook today. And I know the last time we saw Russ, yeah, I know.
Hey, we got new offense, new team. Hey,
Yo,
And you know,
you guys are so evenly matched. Can you like scroll down to like the projector? Like, if you don't mind, because like the only one that we can't see is, I mean, that shows it. That shows it, like, how close of a game is going to be. Like, I'm looking over, like, boom, boom. These two dudes cancel each other out. These two dudes cancel each other out. So that's going to be a good game. I'm gonna have to keep my eye on this one for sure.
it is, but I feel like he Ian for real, like you have more players that have higher ceilings than mine. I strongly believe that
From top to bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually fair.
I
See,
don't
the
know. I
fact that
think it's pretty equal though. I mean, you
Bro,
looking at. I mean, you got George Kittle, then you got Justin Jefferson with T Higgins. Because
but
I mean, Justin Jefferson, these almost equivalent to Cooper Cup in a sense. Now,
oh yeah, for sure. But
yeah,
if so, the point that I like to make is so go ahead and scroll down to the bench, Jamar, for me. So if you scroll down to the bench, fantastic job by you for both of you guys, by the way, having two number one wide receivers at the flex spot. I mean that's you can't really too much beat that. But when we get down to it, still got George Pickens, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, and Tyler Higbee on the bench. Like that's kind of crazy. I mean, not to mention Pat Freiermuth, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
okay, but Jamar has Johnston. Hunt is like the big if. Beckham might be a little bit better without Mark Andrews this week. So I don't know. I think it's pretty evenly matched, but the heavy hitters are going to definitely be a key. Oh, Jonathan Taylor. So okay, I see what you did there. You scrolled down just to make sure that I could see that. So, so kudos to you for having him stashed away. But no, man, it's a dude. This is about as even as you can get. Because like I see a
yeah,
lot of people canceling each other out. If Justin
yeah,
Jefferson and Nick Chubb and Justin Herbert, those three are gonna. Oh, T Higgins. Oh my God, man.
yeah. See,
Yeah.
T
Oh
Higgins.
man. T Higgins at wide receiver too is always tough, bro. Man.
Like for me personally, not even this matchup, but long term, if like dude, if Brees Hall can look anywhere like the Brees Hall before
Yeah,
he got hurt last year,
yeah.
I
That's yeah. That's
swear,
He
that's
should
gonna
be
be a
okay.
big plus.
He
Yeah,
should be a-okay, bro.
yeah. He won't. I mean,
um,
he won't have as much. Got to see how him and Dalvin work together.
Right. That's the only thing.
Um, yeah, he won't have much pressure. So hopefully, I mean,
I'm,
hopefully, yeah, he'll stay healthy.
Mm.
I'm hoping so. And then one last thing I want to note here. So during this draft, like because I had the number one pick, I really didn't want the number one pick at all, but nevertheless, I had it, and every time I was getting ready to take someone, he ended up on Ian's team, and so Dalvin Cook, Calvin Ridley, DJ Moore, Cal Pitts, George Pickens, Justin Fields. Like this dude drafted my team. So
So to be honest, so I do have Justin Fields in both of my leagues, but I think it was in this one, he wasn't my first pick at quarterback. So my first pick at quarterback was actually Patrick Mahomes. He was my first pick,
Mm.
but I think like the pick before, I was like, damn, I I needed Pat. So Justin was my Justin and Lamar was my second in both of my leagues, and Lamar went right before both times. So I was like, well, Justin is there. And I think DJ Moore lasted longer than I thought he was gonna be. DJ Moore, Dalvin Cook for sure. Those guys they lasted longer than I thought. And
Yeah, and
Calvin Ridley as well. So I was like, oh, I gotta jump on that.
yep. So he basically, kind of messed up my whole plans because like I knew I was going to drive Trevor Lawrence coming into this, and I wanted to pair him up with Calvin Ridley, and then next thing you know, who takes him? None other but Ian. And then later in the draft, I'm like, all right, man, I need a high upside player, man. Like, boom, up. I was just about to take George Pickens. Who takes him? Ian. So yeah, Ian's been thieving, bro.
dude,
He's been thieving.
dude, Ian ain't been in this league no more than 2 weeks and came in and just been a thorn to everybody. My gosh. I'm gonna stop sharing the screen now. I'm getting but no, it should definitely be fun today.
Yeah.
I can't wait. So let's get into upgrades and downgrades for today real quick. And then I got some tournament and cash game lineups for DraftKings for those, that's looking to do some daily here. But upgrades, gentlemen, this is what I got. Quarterback, Geno Smith. I got running back Joe Mixon. Basically, the Seattle wide receivers. I couldn't just choose DK because I feel like Lockett and your boy.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
There we go. It's all viable options here today. And then Tyler Higbee. We definitely talked about that. Comments, concerns, approvals. We good here?
No, I mean, yeah, definitely approval upon the Joe Mixon and Seattle wide receivers thing. Geno Smith, whenever you mention the Seattle wide receivers, excuse me. Yeah. Thank you. So whenever you mention the Seattle wide receivers, you got to give a nod to the quarterback who's going to be throwing them the football. So I think Geno Smith is a good play. No, all of these are definitely good upgrades for week 1.
All right. So what goes up must come down. So downgrades. I have Aaron Rodgers. Going against that Bills defense Monday night. That's the reason why, if you saw my bench, Aaron Rodgers was sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
It's just more so. I'm not saying that he won't be good, but it's more of a wait and see approach on that one for me. Jamal Williams, and I know you got something to say about Mr. Williams here in a second, but just more so, just so people know, the rookie running back that they had drafted, he's out. And of course, Kamara's on suspension. And then basically you got a bunch of YMCA, Walmart, and maybe your guy up the street as backup running backs off the practice squad this week. So therefore, Jamal Williams is going to have a lot of value here. But going against Tennessee, that's very tough. Hollywood Brown and basically arguably anybody on the Arizona Cardinals for that matter. And Dawson Knox. I mean, you drafted Kincaid. And then also on top of that, it's going against the Jets. I mean, just bad all the way around. But go ahead and let them know how you feel about Mr. Williams.
Yeah, man. Look, I know that things are very, very dim for Jamal Williams, and rightfully so, man. That if Tennessee can do one thing right, it is stop the run. Like that's what they're good at. They're very, very stout up front. But in that same token, like I mentioned it, I believe last night or yesterday afternoon, like I asked you guys inside the group chat, like I'm like, yo, I think that 17 TDs from one season ago was not a fluke. It's because of his utilization inside the red zone. Like if he can get 3 red zone carries, I think he punches one in. So look, I'm kind of fading him in PPR leagues for sure because he doesn't offer as much, as in terms of like the passing game. But if you do have him inside of a standard league, I'm not afraid to play him. Jamar, you already mentioned no Keandre Miller, no Alvin Kamara. Like those are going to be 2 of the main factors in which I'm looking at Jamal Williams and I'm like, yo, I want this dude to be able to do what he did last season, and that was score TDs at the goal line. So I'm feeling a little bit more confident in Jamal Williams, more so than you are, Jamar. But at the same time, I understand that expectations should be tempered.
What's crazy is about Jamal Williams, and you kind of mentioned it, like not having much in the passing game. When he was with Green Bay, he was the one catching, the dink and dunks out the backfield. He goes to Detroit. They changed his whole roll up.
Yep.
And it seems like he went into a similar role in New Orleans that he did in Detroit. But maybe, just maybe, to your point, maybe he might get a couple of targets here. Maybe that might boost it up a little bit since the volume is there. And like you said, maybe he gets in the red zone, within the 5 yards, maybe, just maybe, right?
Yep.
So yeah. Those are downgrades. I guess, Ian, do you have anybody else you want to add or approve, or what are you thinking?
I do approve of the Aaron Rodgers one. I don't think a lot of people, you see a big name guy like that, they just, might instantly start him. But coming into the season, new team, new scenery. We don't know how the O line is going to play, and the first, like you stated, the first game against the Bills, that's a pretty first tough matchup. It's not like a easy game for a first game. So I would definitely second guess starting Aaron Rodgers if you got him in your league.
Fair enough. It's like we got questions here. So from Terrell, what up? He said Isaiah Likely or David Njoku today. So Isaiah Likely's at home against the Texans and Njoku's at home against the Bengals.
I'm going to go Njoku, and here's why.
Okay.
I do believe that likely is probably it just seems to be the better play, right? Like route the back. No Mark Andrews. We are not sure who's going to be the guy. Rashad Bateman's been up and down. That Zay Flowers is there. OBJ is there. There is kind of a little bit of a cluster though. Like it's and with Lamar Jackson back under center, like it's gonna take away from a little bit of like the pass, and I think he's gonna use his legs in a bunch. And I feel like this is the game in which they should be up a bunch, so they may defer to pass late in the game, as in opposed to the Browns having to play keep up with that high octane Bengals offense. I think it's gonna be more opportunity for Njoku in this game. Both should be pretty good plays, but I'm leaning more towards Njoku.
Not bad, Ian. What are you thinking?
That's a tough one, but I think I'll go. I think I'll go in Joku though. I think I just think he's probably in a better situation in that offense, so I will go with Njoku for sure.
I can see that. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the trifecta button on this one and agree with you all. I think the biggest thing for me, the biggest caveat is game flow, the environment, right? Deshaun, you pretty much, hit the nail on the head with that one as far as, if Baltimore gets up big like we, think that they will, then, game flow changes. It's going to be more so J.K. Dobbins and whomever else running the ball, Gus Edwards at that point. But usually Bengals, Browns, that should be more of a back and forth type deal. So, and also outside of Amari Cooper, maybe Njoku is probably maybe the second or third guy. So yeah, I'm going to Njoku there. So yeah, hit the trifecta there. And then really quick, he had one more. Foxborough, I'll get to you in a second. He said, doesn't matter, is have Lamar for the stack. On this one, I don't think so. Just because like Lamar's points really come from, he has a high floor because of his rushing ability.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, does it add more juice to it? Sure, but it doesn't. I don't think it sways the needle for me on this one.
I concur.
Yeah, same here.
All right, so Terrell, appreciate it, man. Good luck to you. Please continue to rock with us. Foxborough. That's Mr. 16 man.
16 team. Deep, man.
I have tight end Everett, but what y'all think about Taysom Hill in that spot today?
I'm not sure what to think about Taysom Hill, man. Like, I'm not sure how they're gonna utilize him. Is Juwan Johnson still there?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I think Juwan Johnson was okay last year, but I know that Taysom Hill can play multiple roles, and it only really takes him one big play to be able to score on like some sort of gadget play. But those gadget plays may be few and far in between. So maybe you should go with the safer bet and Everett. And again, this is a 16-man league, bro. So it's like the room for error is slim.
None.
None. Very slim.
I know firsthand. If I'm not mistaken, Everett is the tight end for the Chargers, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that is the number one game this week that has the highest upside as far as fantasy points are going to be divvied out. Play Everett. Definitely play Everett. So good luck to you, Foxborough. We got Justin, Mr. Simpkins. So he has George Pickens, Garrett Wilson, or Alexander Madison in the flex today. I am going 100% Garrett Wilson.
1,000%. And here's why, Justin. That's my boy, man. So George Pickens has a tough matchup against San Francisco. Now, again, that's my boy. You gotta see it up there, man. Hashtag Steeler Nation. Hashtag here we go. Any chance I get to throw that out there, that's what I'm gonna do, baby. That's what I'm gonna do. But at the same time, I am fading him this week just because that matchup is just that difficult. Like they got Bosa back, which they're like extremely happy about. He's inserted right back into the defense. That's gonna make a big big deal, right? So
Mhm.
George Pickens, not saying that he isn't going to have a good game, but you should definitely like seek other options there. Garrett Wilson, like Jamar mentioned it, this you already got him, bro. Like he already Jamar said it 1,000%. You want this dude in your lineup if you have him this week. I think that's going to be a very, very good game in which both teams try to compete to keep up with the other. And what better way to do that than Garrett Wilson? That's going to be one of the dynamic duos inside of fantasy this season. So I like
Yeah.
that bunch. The Madison thing, I would like to take the wait and see approach. In my complete, humble opinion, I think he can be good. We've seen the games in which he's missed. I mean, in which he's played, in which Dalvin Cook has missed, and he's been a very, very good replacement option for those Dalvin Cook fans. But the wait and see approach with that one would be a little bit better. And what is that matchup again, Jamar? Give it to me. What's that Vikings matchup?
The Bucks.
The Bucks. Boom. And there we go. And we know that the Bucks is very, very good at stopping the run as well. So Garrett Wilson, no brainer, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, heck, I was drafting Garrett Wilson to be my number one wide receiver in 10 team leagues
Rightfully
this year.
so. He deserves it this
Yeah.
year.
Man. And that might be my I guess not necessarily ride or die, but my guy that I feel like that's gonna really like be the and when we start handing out rewards at the end, awards at the end of the year, that's the one that I'm looking at to be that guy. So good luck to you. Justin, that better not be in one of the leagues that I'm in with you. I'm just telling you that much. Good luck to you. Prescott JB says Deshaun questionable Watson is going off today.
Yeah, questionable. You know what? I would like to see that. I do would like to see that. And as you know, this guy is in my division, and I do believe it's one of the tougher divisions in the league. But
Yeah,
getting
sure.
Deshaun Watson just up and running this season, I think that's their main goal. Like he looked kind of shaky toward the end of the season, and I mean, I get it. He missed a ton of time, and he was extremely rusty. But I think that they got kind of like the right pieces. They even added Elijah Moore this season. Nick Chubb is going to be there. He's going to be like the anchor of that offense. Lean on him, lean on him, lean on him. But I think Deshaun Watson should be just fine today if he's anything like the Deshaun Watson of old, top 10 fantasy quarterback or whatever. I think I can see this being the thing, Prescott JB.
Yeah. No, I would definitely say that the Cleveland Browns and the players, they've been under the radar this whole offseason.
Good.
And I think that's a good thing. And so I really do like Deshaun Watson this year. Amari Cooper, I like that stack in general. But the number one player I really love on this team is Sir Nicholas.
Sir Nicholas.
Sir Nicholas.
He is royalty, so that's why I deem him the name Sir Nicholas. But Nick Chubb is that guy. No Kareem Hunt there. Like the volume should be there, and if you just Deshaun Watson just throwing the ball a couple times a game, let him get a couple of catches in. That helps.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, if he can get back to anything close to what he was in Houston, I mean, the weapons are there. So I mean,
definitely. Justin got one more. Last question, y'all. Comfortable starting Everett over Kittle?
Okay.
I don't know about that one.
So funny you guys should mention that. A little bit before we started the show, I got like the ticker or whatever. Like I got like 5 apps that I run up on Fantasy Day that keeps me up to date as far as injuries go. So George Kittle is expected to play. I know he was dealing with the groin injury previously, and he is playing against my Steelers. So I kind of like him if he is to start today, just a bit over Everett. I get it. Keenan Allen is there. Jamar's guy, Quentin Johnson, is still there. I'm trying to see what they're going to do with him. And Mike Williams and Austin Eckler. But Kittle can – not saying that Kittle doesn't have to battle between CMC, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, but I'm just leaning just a tad bit towards Kittle. Bigger name, more target share, and that's usually fantasy success.
Yeah.
Ian, what you thinking here? Same thing, Kittle?
Yeah, I gotta go with Kittle. I just feel like, in that offense they're just gonna lean on him more than than Everett. I mean, with Everett, I mean, with both teams, you have, multiple weapons, but,
Hmm.
I just feel like Kittle just has that bigger role in the 49ers offense.
Absolutely. And I know a couple minutes ago I mentioned that the game with the highest potential of
Hmm.
fantasy points being divvied out is the Chargers and Dolphins game. I'm actually going to lay eyes on that game today. But with that being said, like you all stated, the target share for George Kittle is so much bigger with the Niners, and the usual fantasy equation, opportunity plus talent. The opportunity is so much bigger.
Yep.
Um, I mean, because outside of CMC and Debo is Kittle,
Yeah.
and so
Hey, don't forget about Ayuk, who led that team in receiving yards last year.
Yeah.
yeah, Ayuk, I get it, but yeah, nevertheless, yeah, if Kittle is definitely going for sure, then yeah, because I got a similar situation in matter of fact in the league that I'm going against Ian in today because initially until I saw
Yeah,
the
you
same
got
ticket you
Kittle.
saw, yeah. And I had picked up Isaiah Likely just in the chance that Kittle doesn't go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. I get it there. So yeah, appreciate the question, Justin. Uh, we are here for a little bit longer. So anybody else that has any questions, comments, concerns with lineups, matchups, DFS, which I'm about to get into here in a second, trades, anything, just let us know. So with that being said, all right. So if you bear with me here, I do have last year I was just giving out tourney lineups, but today and starting this year, I'm gonna give out cash game lineups too, because cash game is where I make my money for sure. So if you bear with me here, bear down. Give me a second here. Uh did I really just
Yeah,
sneak that in?
you did. You did.
My bad. So all right, can you all see that?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so this is the cash game lineup. So basically, just so and just to generalize it between cash game and tourney, cash games, you want to go more so with the sure thing as much as possible. It's not something to get cute with, per se. So you're definitely trying to maximize all your opportunities there. So this one here. All right, so Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Deshaun, you talked about Trevor Lawrence briefly earlier today, and more so in general how much we love Trevor Lawrence this year. And so Trevor Lawrence going against
The Colts, man.
the
Come on, man.
yeah. And as you see, I got him stacked up with Calvin
Mm.
Ridley. I mean, I feel like that should be the biggest bang for my buck between those two running backs. Joe Mixon, I mentioned him earlier as an upgrade. Last time I checked, the Cleveland Browns and their run defense is not good at all. At all.
Mm.
And not to mention, there's no Samaje Perine. It's kind of similar to Nick Chubb. The backup running back is no longer there. So, and the last thing I would say about Joe Mixon today, which I find interesting, is as we know, Joe Burrow, he's playing, but he tweaked his calf in training camp. So I'm pretty sure that there might be chances for a little bit more of dink and dunk action with Joe Mixon here today. Because I'm pretty sure they don't want to keep him in the pocket going against Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith coming at his throat every play on the drop back. So I really do like Joe Mixon today. Raheem Mostert, there's no Jeff Wilson Jr. They got a bunch of other guys, but more so I'm banking on Raheem Mostert, excuse me, being the guy today in that high octane game in the system that he's familiar with. So I think that's a good play there. And once again, in that game, I got Tyreek Hill. I cannot go wrong there. I feel like he's gonna get his. And Deshaun, hashtag Steeler Nation, hashtag here we go.
Hey, you gotta say it with some pride, man. Like that was weak, bro. That was weak.
I'll try to do better, but no promises here. But look, last week I deemed him and your boy Kenny Pickett as pick six. Like I really like Pickett, even though it's against the Niners, but still. I feel like the opportunity is there, and of course he's talented. So it's just more so a value and feed the ball to Pickens. And that's just definitely by far his favorite target. So I feel like at $5,000, that's a great value. So I kind of punted on tight end here because if I'm not paying up for Travis Kelce, who's not on this slate because he was out, but also they played Thursday, and if I'm not paying up for Mark Andrews, not playing, then at this point I'm gonna just dart throw Noah Fant. He is the starting tight end for the Seahawks in the game that we like their matchups against the Rams. Matter of fact, if I ask you both, can you name me a defensive player outside of Aaron Donald for the Rams right now? Can you do it?
Yeah, linebacker. God dang it! What is his name? Ernest Jones.
Yeah, you did well.
Yeah.
Can you name the second one?
I think I can name two.
I cannot. Oh, that's it.
I don't know. He should still play with them. Jordan Fuller, DB, and man, cornerback.
But
yeah, you see how that worked out.
Yeah, exactly. And all right, and so in the flex, I got Mike Williams once again. That game, basically, if you can find a game that's gonna probably divvy up the most points, that's probably the players you want to play from that game. So if I can just get Mike Williams on, one or two deep throws here, bam. And then the defense that you're playing today, I feel like no matter what in DraftKings, you're playing the Commanders defense against the Cardinals. That's what you're doing. It's the biggest bang for your buck. I'm not spending up to play the Ravens defense against the Texans when I feel like the Commanders can do the exact same thing at a lower price. So yeah, that's where I got there. And then really quick. Your brother is funny this morning. Said, "Oh, I got a question for you, Jamar. Who is your opponent for Week 1 in Dynasty?" Yeah, coincidentally, it's you. It's you. And man, Dynasty. So our Dynasty League is that is probably the most complex league that I've ever been a part of. We start 15 people, 7 on 7 on offense, 7 on defense, like actual individual defensive players, and then a kicker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. And I mean, yo, Jamar, look, my brother's team, man.
I know.
I
know. I mean, he got a couple players from me on his team. Yeah, I know,
dude. And that Sun guy touchdown. Excuse me, that Sun guy touchdown. It didn't help you. It didn't help your case, man.
No, it didn't. I mean, he was formerly on my team too, so I know. But what did help is his kicker only got 3 points, so I'll take that. That helps. But yeah, I'm in an uphill battle on that one, man. I kid you not. So good luck to you, Piggy. All right, so that's the cash game lineup. And I'm gonna give you. See if we can do the other one here real quick. So bear with me. Once again, bear down. I keep sneaking it in there.
Got you.
I think everybody knows at this point, man.
This dude said the kicker will get cut.
Yeah, he don't play no games, man. It's Piggy is a tough critic, man. We be laughing about it a bunch. And, funny dude, man. Funny dude. He probably won't be on his team next week.
No, I agree. Knowing him. All right. You all can see this one.
Yep.
All right, Turney. So So with this one, you got to have, a little, variance here. You got to, you know, because everybody for the most part want to pick the same players in one same shape or fashion, but you could, find a couple that's like rostered like at a low percentage, maybe 10% or less type deal that can go off. That will separate you quickly. And so quarterback, I got Tua. Once again, I'm going with the game that's projected to have the most points.
Mm.
And as you see, I got him stacked with Tyreek Hill. Bam. At running back, Javonte Williams. I feel like this is a sneaky play. Now, in the preseason, he looked actually pretty good, like he's healthy, but I feel like there's still some hesitation here. So I'm hoping not too many people pick him against the Raiders. I mean, it's the Raiders. Rashad White, you know, I feel like with him,
Sleeper.
it is. I need a lot of that Baker dunk action here. Just dink it off to him. Just give me about 4 or 5 catches for about 30, 40 yards. Give me about 10 carries on the ground, punch it in. Like, that'll do it for me. Justin Jefferson. I mean, enough said, right? We know we know what he is. Once again, back to that same game. I got the rookie, Johnston. I mean, that's a dart throw in a sense, but I feel like people probably more so would be picking Keenan Allen more, Mike Williams more for this tourney. So why not give a dart throw to Johnson? What if he can break one off for a long touchdown? You only need one, and that'll do it. And I super punted on tight end here just to pay up for wide receiver because, wide receivers, I feel like my wide receiver is going to produce a lot more. So I ain't even heard of this dude until yesterday, but apparently Musgrave from the Packers starting tight end. Maybe Jordan Love will find him a couple of times. I don't know. Man, if you can give me about 5 or 6 fantasy points, that'll do it. Once again, hashtag Still a Nation. Hashtag here we go. Was that better?
Oh, that was a little bit better. You kind of like tapered off at the end there, but it's still acceptable. Strong start, man. Weak finish.
All right, I'm getting there. So yeah, I got Pickens in the flex, and then once again, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the Commanders defense. So yeah, those are my lineups here for today. I really do like the cash one. I'm trying to cash out here, but yeah. Do you all have any questions about anything?
Dude, yeah, actually I do, man. So I got a question for you guys. So normally I keep all of my questions, comments, and concerns by myself. I don't like to throw them out there too often, Jamar. You know that. I'd rather live with my choice that I make, man. But legit, I kind of got like a real question here. So and we are in this league together, Jamar, which is the Yahoo League, but at the same time, we don't face each other this week. So I feel kind of comfortable asking you this question. That's fair. A flex, right? I got 3 options, 3 pretty good options in my opinion. I got Cam Akers, Mike Williams, and Jamal Williams, all for a flex option. So pretty good flex options, relatively speaking. I'm just on the fence as to what to start. Look, I say the same thing about Cam Akers as I say about Tyler Higbee because no Cooper Kupp. Maybe they lean up on Cam Akers a little bit more. The Jamal Williams thing, we already discussed that, but the matchup is tough. It's tough. Right. I understand that. And then Mike Williams, Jamar, you've already mentioned it numerous amounts of times, and that's the projected highest point output for week 1. So my question is to you guys, man. I mean, who would you start? Not saying that I'm gonna do it. I just want to know what you guys think.
Ian, I'll let you go first on this one.
It's a tough one.
It is.
Honestly, I think I will go with Cam Akers. Like you stated, I think they just might have a tendency to lean up on him a little more. I don't really know who's the I would guess who would be the number 1 receiver besides today. I mean, besides Cooper Kupp. I
think
forget
Van
what their
Jefferson, I
receiving
Van
core
thought.
is like.
Jefferson.
Van
Van Jefferson,
Jefferson.
yeah.
I don't know. Do I trust Van Jeff? I would say Cam Akers for.
Jamar?
All right, so process of elimination for me. Like Cam Akers isn't a bad option, but if I'm thinking about the environment of the game and the game flow, chances are the Rams might be playing from behind, so that might limit Cam Akers to a certain degree. Bless you.
Thank you.
Jamal Williams definitely has opportunity here, but like we all stated, tough matchup, very tough matchup. So you more so banking on him, more so Derek Carr leading that team into the red zone at that point, and being goal to go action.
Right.
Mike Williams, yep, highest upside game by far today. At the same time, it's a lot of weapons there. It is. So I guess my question to you is, even though you asked me one, I'm gonna ask you one to get the answer to this question here is do you need the home run play or do you need safe points?
At the flex, I tend to go for safe points. I got some hitters that's playing today. I got Burrow, I got Lamb, I got Higgins, I got Barkley, I got ETN. So that's those guys should be able to do what they signed up on my team to do. So I feel pretty safe that I even got Hockenson starting today against Tampa. But it's just it's everything that you guys said, man. It's the Mike Williams high scoring, it's the Jamal Williams tough matchup, but great opportunity to be able to score inside the red zone, and it's the Cam Akers lack of Cooper Kupp. They could lean upon him, and Seattle has been known to not be able to stop the run as effectively as other teams out there. So it's that's why I'm kind of like in like a pickle. So whenever I am like that, like I kind of turn like the stat monitor off, like I shut that screen down and I just kind of go with my gut or whatever. So it's right now I'm leaning towards Cam Akers or Mike Williams.
Yeah.
Not more so Jamal Williams because that is a little bit tough. But I mean, we could walk into next week and Jamal Williams scores 2 rushing touchdowns for what 17 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, but he still got that 12 points. So it's tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it is. So with that being said, I am leaning towards Akers as the safest play today.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely Mike Williams has the highest upside by far.
I can't agree with you more. So yeah, I mean, I got a little bit of a decision to make, but I think that's like the toughest decision I have to make in all my leagues. So.
Boy, if that's the toughest decision, I feel like you're in a good spot today.
Yeah, for sure.
Boy, I forgot to mention earlier when we was talking about the recap of the Lions Chiefs game that I got the Lions defense in this 20-team league that I somehow found my way into. Don't even ask. But yeah, I had no choice but to play the Lions defense, and the pick 6 saved my behind. That defense gave me 9 points. But yeah, man, this 20-team league, this here's a doozy. Like I'm second guessing myself on a lot of stuff in this league with certain stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we already mentioned earlier, man, that one of our viewers that's in a 16-team league, we already said that there's slim margin for error, but in this one, you get 0. You get 0. You make the wrong play, and that can be that could be life or death right there. You just make one mistake, bro. So it's like I understand this league requires a little bit more of your attention than the average.
Yeah, I mean, so for instance, like my quarterback is Geno Smith. His is Daniel Jones. Okay.
Yeah.
My first running back is Saquon Barkley. His is Isaiah Pacheco and got 9.4. So I'm feeling good there.
Yeah.
My second running back is Alexander Madison. His is Bijan Robinson. So I'm like, My first wide receiver is Tyreek Hill. His is Terry McLaurin.
Okay, so you definitely good there.
gets a little complicated after that. I got Deebo Samuel as my second wide receiver, but he got T. Higgins.
I'm gonna have to get a check to him right there.
Yeah. My tight end is Kyle Pitts. His is Jawan Johnson.
Check to you.
My flex is Cortland Sutton. His is Michael Gallup.
Flex to you. Check to you. Check to you.
My kicker is Younghoe Koo. Thank you for the pronunciation a couple years ago.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. No, it is not what it looks like.
And his is Jason Sanders, the kicker for the Dolphins. So, I mean, that can go either way. My Lions defense, like I mentioned, he got the Cardinals defense. So,
okay. So I mean, I like your odds. Yeah, he got Bijan, and I'm not sure exactly how they're gonna use him today. Look, man, Tyler Algier has been pretty good for them. Dang it, what's the other guy? Cordero Patterson has been pretty good for them. Still got Drake London, still got Kyle Pitts there. I know there's gonna be a lot of leaning, hopefully, on Bijan, but at the same time, I'm not sure how good he's gonna play week 1, and that's gonna be a game that I'm definitely gonna just kind of key in on. You know what I mean? Just to see how they're gonna utilize him, kind of like the Jahmyr Gibbs thing. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, man, if I were you, I kind of. He said, dude, everybody does it, bro. Like everybody does it. And we already gonna know who you talking about anyway. So yeah, but it is Younghoe.
Oh man, what a name! Oh man, but yeah, that's the one I'm trying to figure it out. Because usually my deepest team leagues is a 16 teamer like Foxborough. Like me and Foxborough, we got that same predicament usually, but my 16 turned to a 14, so it's not nearly the same, but it's still anything past 12. You gotta really be on it.
You got that right.
Oh man. All right, so I guess last thing I'll say, because at this point we can probably wrap it up here. Look, it's week 1. Don't overthink. Definitely don't overthink. This is the first week of the season. What may be a situation in week 1 probably won't be a situation by week 4 or 5. So, like for instance, Jahmyr Gibbs, like we saw only a 17% target share or touch share, whatever percentage of the snaps, rather, as opposed to 77% for David Montgomery. That may change here in the next 3 weeks. So don't overreact to that. Play your best players. Don't get too cute. Every win counts. Stacks mean a lot, especially in daily fantasy for sure. And as far as daily fantasy, another thing I would say, like, normally in the past, for me, and how to really gain the edge is, in the past, you want to look for the value play, like who can give you biggest bang for your buck, who can outscore the projected points, blah, 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 or the projected price per se. But basically, my methodology is you want to look for the game that's going to give you the highest output of points because it's going to give you the most points. So therefore, that's what you really want to target here. And don't get too cute with that either, especially for cash games. If you want to get cute for a tournament, by all means, just not for cash games, which is more so head-to-head 50-50s. It's head-to-head 50-50s, and it's another. Basically, is you versus the other at a 50-50 chance, more than not. So yeah, that's all I have to say here. Fellas, do you have anything else before we wrap up?
Nah, I don't. Is it, is week 1, like you already mentioned, Jamar, is just, nobody wants to start off the season in the hole, but at the same time, it is just that. It's just the start of the season. So, I mean, going on, like I do want to mention that I started a league 0-4 last season, and I actually won that league. So it's not about how you start, but it is about how you finish. And you already mentioned, like, that's one thing that I live by. Don't get cute out here. Go with those best players. Go with the players that you drafted in the first through 5 rounds. Like those are the players that you should be starting, no question, or else you wouldn't have used that high caliber pick on that player. You know what I mean? So it's so everybody that was out, watching and commenting and up on the various platforms that we are streaming live on right now. Good luck to y'all, man. And good luck to you, Ian. Good luck to you, Jamar.
Yep.
I know you two play each other this week. I'm gonna definitely make sure I keep my eye on that matchup in between the Steelers games and the other things that I got going on. So yeah.
Absolutely. And real quick before I let Ian talk, like you said, don't get too cute. Also the draft, like basically how you draft, like the top players that you drafted in your draft in those first few rounds, unless somebody's hurt,
Play them.
Those are guys that you should have in your lineup week one.
Yeah.
Yep. Healthy plan.
Really should. And then really quick, if you want to support the podcast, we got a QR code here for Venmo. Also, we got a Cash App here. Cash App Destination Fantasy there. But Ian, like, what are you thinking here? Final thoughts for these people going into week one?
Just don't overthink it. Like you guys stated, got star players that you drafted in those first, 5 to 10 rounds. They're healthy. Play them, man. Never know what happens this week one. Just don't overthink it.
Fair enough. So, that being said, Deshaun, where can they find us?
Basically, man, you can find us anywhere where podcasts are found, man. And I think the best thing about today is, man, we are streaming live on multiple platforms today. We're on Facebook. We're streaming live up on Twitch, which is super dope, and as well as the YouTube page. Make sure you check us out up on all those platforms, man. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, and just continue to rock with us as we got some fantastic content today and as well as down the road, man. So we appreciate it.
All right. So with that being said, good luck to you, Ian.
Good luck. Good luck.
May the best team win.
I don't like that, bro. Like, I don't like that. Like, come at his throat, bro. Pause. Oh my God.
That's wild.
Oh no, man. But yeah,
do we all right, so do we need a little small wager here like we was doing last year?
Bro,
do we need
dope, man? Like, talk it up a little bit, man.
All right, so last year, what we do, like wear like opponents like colors and stuff.
Yeah,
that was wild.
I had to wear a Browns jersey last year, bro. Like, and that, man, like I took a shower like immediately, like that happened, man. Like I thought I had like scabies or something like after putting that on, bro. Like,
man, I think I had one of them green and yellow shirts on last year for a second.
It was a Packer shirt. It was a Packer shirt, bro.
Don't say that. So since we're both Bears fans, I'm not gonna do you like that, but I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. To spice it up, what can we do though, real quick?
I don't know, man. That's mano y mano right there, man. Y'all got to come up with something. But yeah, man, dude, for it to be as even as it is, as far as like projections go, man, that seriously is something that I'm a,
I
keep
guess
on
we could do
contact.
like a what, like a $5-10 bet or something like that.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
let's
friendly $10 wager. I like it.
Yeah. We could do that.
Friendly 10. If it were me, it'd have been a dub, but that's.
Like, I ain't big money bags like you. So
I definitely ain't, man.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we could do 10.
Friendly 10.
10.
I like
cool.
it.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's cool.
All right. So for my bro Deshaun, for my other bro and our new counterpart Ian, Jamar, Destination Fantasy Podcast, week 1. See you next week. We'll get you prepared. But until then.